This is Jake and Will, the Nerds Know Best. This is our spoiler review for Avengers Infinity War. So if you have not seen it, please go watch it and then come back. So we're going to jump into spoilers.
This whole movie is just filled with spoilers.
It's really it's more based on spoilers than anything I've seen, for sure. It's like up there with like Force Awakens. Oh, not even like, and even that is like not as filled with spoilers as this. It's like you need to see this as soon as you can.
What's interesting is I was thinking about Justice League, right, and how that just completely dropped the ball in every way. That movie didn't have a single thing you could possibly spoil to somebody going into it. Nothing really interesting happened in that movie, but Infinity War is just filled with things that would surprise the audience.
And that's why after like 4 days, it's already made more worldwide than Justice League.
Make good movies and then you make good money.
That's how it works. That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Make good freaking movies. I would say the first big spoiler obviously happens like 2 minutes in the movie. You get like Heimdall and Loki being killed by Thanos.
Yeah, and then Xandar got destroyed.
Yep.
Off camera before, and Thor got beat. Like he's already beaten when the movie starts.
Their whole ship is already taken over. We don't know what's happening with Valkyrie and Korg, although it was just confirmed by Kevin Feige and Joe Russo that they are alive.
Yeah, because there's one throwaway line
that he wiped out half of my people. Yep.
He wiped out the half of them.
So Valkyrie and Korg are okay, and Meek, I assume, also. And so they're all alive and they're okay, so that's good. And then we lose Loki and Heimdall, and then Heimdall uses dark magic to get Hulk back to Earth. And that scene right there, Thanos just beats the shit out of Hulk.
It was, everything about it was so
well
executed. And the way like Loki's like, we have a Hulk, like everything comes full circle.
Callback.
I don't even think Thanos actually uses the Power Stone at all to fight Hulk. Like he just he never even uses like any kind of like weird purple energy stuff. He just
beats the shit out of him.
Beats the crap out of him
he just
effortlessly.
beats up the Hulk. And then the Hulk, for the rest of the movie, that's all you see is from the Hulk is that one scene. And then he's afraid to come out for the rest of the movie because he got beaten so badly by Thanos. And I thought it was interesting because I noticed that arc is starting to take place because Mark Ruffalo has been saying that, you know, we don't have the rights to a Hulk movie, so we've just been sort of developing this 3-movie arc with the Hulk where we start in Ragnarok, Infinity War, and then Avengers 4. I could see it already like happening with like Hulk in the first one being like very dominant and like just taking over Bruce, and then in this one it's like he doesn't come out, and then the third one we'll see.
Yeah, this one was more about Banner, and I actually liked how at the end he uses the Hulkbuster suit and he kills one of the members of the Black Order.
That was cool.
And like I like that, like focusing on Banner for a little while. A lot of people were upset, like, oh, Hulk isn't in the rest of the movie, but it's like we have a whole nother movie. And you know Hulk's going to have like a fantastic scene where he's going to come back like stronger than ever before. And,
I know. It's going to be insane. But like it's kind of interesting though, because weren't there like toys that spoiled that Hulk busts out of the Hulk?
Yeah, I saw like a pop figure that had that.
And then there's also the scene in the trailer where they're all running and then Hulk is with them. So I'm like, it's pretty cool how they deceived us like that. I could see it being turned around and used against them as well. But I do appreciate it because it's a pretty ballsy twist to be like the Hulk is in this movie for 5 minutes and then there's just Banner for the rest of the movie in a Hulkbuster suit, which is still cool.
Also, like I figured the movie was going to start out like with Thor and his team, and it was going to be their fight with Thanos.
It was for me. It was either that or him invading Xandar. Yeah, we already got Xandar off scene, and I was like, okay, so we're starting with Thor. That's cool.
Yeah, and like I figured like there's only 2 ways Loki's going to fit into this, and it's either he's going to take the role of Mephisto in the comics, which is where he's just kind of there as Thanos' right-hand guy, just like talking to him the whole time, and him trying to get the gauntlet himself, right, and eventually like failing to do that. But it was either that or he was going to die in that
I was like 95% positive that Loki was getting it, because then the trailers, they only show that.
Only that one shot with like the cube, and that's it.
And then you could see in the interviews that he's just kind of like sitting there with them, and I'm like, you do not belong here, I can tell. Like, you're just in the movie for a bit, I know it. And then we were right, because he dies.
He dies, and it's so brutal too.
It is brutal.
Like, it's not like, oh, they shoot like a laser beam at him and he dies. No, he just grabs him and just, you see the life go, just leave his body, and then they linger on it. Like he throws his body down in front of Thor, and they like a close-up shot of it.
We get confirmation that there is no resurrections this time. So then we get the whole Tony Stark thing, and then Bruce crashes down on Doctor Strange's house, which is also reminiscent of the Silver Surfer stuff in the Infinity Gauntlet comic.
So you can tell. This is what I heard somebody say this. Like you can tell that they read Infinity Gauntlet and they liked it.
Here's what I thought when we go back with Tony and Pepper. I thought Pepper was getting destroyed. I figured because they're doing so much with this. Let's have a baby. Let's get married. I'm like, this is usually in movies. We're just gonna she's gonna die. Maybe she did die. We don't know. Then you get Doctor Strange coming and saying, we need your help, and they start explaining the whole Infinity Stone situation.
I was really surprised by how much I liked Doctor Strange and Iron Man.
Yeah, I figured they would butt heads because they're both kind of the narcissistic jerks in the
Yes, there was a lot of complaining when Doctor Strange came out that him and Tony Stark are like the same exact character, and then they play that up in this movie.
They do for sure.
Yeah, it's really great. Then we get the big fight scene there. We get introduced to
Spider-Man comes in.
Yeah, like Ebony Maw.
Ebony Maw, who is probably the standout in the Black Order, I would say, and then after that, Proxima Midnight, and then the other two. I really there was very little like for what's
Corvus Glaive,
like Cole Obsidian had enough, like he's just the Hulk. He's just the Hulk for them. And then you get that great joke with he's Hulk is trying to come out, and then that's when you set up like the comedy of like just the green like I can't do it
performance issues.
Yeah, exactly. And then like they cast Hulk out, and then and we also really quick we get that scene with like Tony like about to call Captain America, and then I just love because when I saw it, like my friend was like, oh, like Hulk doesn't know about all this.
Yeah.
Like he's been gone for like a while. We get that fight, and then they take the time stone and everything, and then Wong is just gone for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I remember seeing him in like all these TV spots on the poster. I'm like, he's not in this movie.
Very clearly just trying to get that Chinese money for sure. Like they're definitely just advertising to China, and then they're like, yo, we got Wong in this one, and then everybody's like, we'll see how it works.
Maybe we'll see him in the next one. So
for sure, and then we'll see what his impact does in China.
Yeah,
I mean,
it still hasn't opened in China.
May 11th
from where we're at. Oh boy, this movie jumps around a lot. What was after that?
After that, we get. I would assume if we're moving on, we get the Guardians crashing into Thor. The Guardians intro. That was great. I loved it. I was kind of surprised because I remember seeing interviews being like, the Guardians and Spider-Man have a small role. And then I saw this, I'm like, no, they don't. I'm like,
pretty big.
Yeah, because I remember like initially, like when a year ago, they were like Spider-Man's got about like the same size of a role that he did in Civil War. Then I saw this, I'm like, no. And then the Guardians, the same thing, where it was like some people didn't know if they were even going to be in the movie. I remember like James Gunn was like, no, they're not in it. And then obviously he was just playing. But they had a great role in this. You get the Guardians, you get Gamora, Drax, all them. You get Thor warning them about Thanos, and then Gamora doing her whole speech about how horrible of a father he is. All the setup stuff that we knew. It's basically just her explaining it for people, I would assume.
And it's important to reestablish that and go further into detail because we've only kind of skimmed the surface of all that.
Of all that
in
stuff.
The past two Guardians movies.
Thor wants to craft a new weapon, and then him and Rocket and Groot go to Nidavellir, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And then they forge a new weapon for Thor. Initially, when I first saw it, I didn't like this storyline. I was like not into it.
I heard about before the movie was coming out, I found out that that's what Thor's plot is in the movie, is going to get a new weapon. And I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. Like, I feel like, what is he going to do with
it could have easily been like the Canto Bite segment.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was worried about. And then like, at first I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, Peter Dinklage is ridiculous. Like, this is not...
I actually kind of liked it.
But then I saw it again, and I was like, okay, I like this a lot now because I know where it's going, and I like the payoff is so amazing. Yeah. And I thought it worked the more I saw it. So,
I'm like 100% positive they're gonna go back there in the next movie and get
at some point
like Iron Man armor made out of that metal, and
cool.
like everybody getting something like that, like maybe their own Asgardian weapon, because that happens in a comic too. Fear itself, like in the end, like all the Avengers get their own like hammers and shit like that.
That's pretty cool. And then you get that like line where the Star-Lord's like, "Shouldn't we all have a weapon like that?" And then Thor's like, "You wouldn't be able to handle it.
Oh
it's
yeah,
too
that's
much."
right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I mean, we'll see. Obviously, I could imagine like Captain America or somebody getting something really cool like that. especially for like the last movie for some of these characters.
I do find it weird though that the whole point of Thor Ragnarok was like Thor doesn't need a weapon anymore.
Right.
Like he doesn't need to rely on it, and then this one it opens with I need a weapon.
Yeah.
So it felt a little weird.
I could get
it.
Yeah. So you get Stormbreaker, and then you got that new weapon.
Because it's really cool.
It is really cool. I loved the little Groot add-on because now we have like that little like cool like I don't know.
It shows
cool.
how important the fact that everything is connected is.
They have all this team.
Like
because now you watch Thor.
If Groot wasn't there,
Thor
they wouldn't have been able to do it.
Exactly. If they do another Thor movie, you're like, that's that's Groot's like he made the handle, and it's like that's really cool. That's just tying everything. It's really nice. So you get the Guardians going to nowhere, and then they are getting the Reality Stone from Thanos, and I liked that callback.
Oh yeah, that's a great scene.
That was a great scene because then Gamora kills Thanos or so we think, and then he's using the Reality Stone. I love Benicio del Toro's like 2-second cameo. Like he's just in it for a bit. He's
that's what his whole
dead,
character.
Right?
He's most certainly
definitely dead.
dead.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks because I would have loved to see like a
I wanted to see him and Jeff Goldblum get together.
Yeah, at some point because we don't know if he's alive either because they had that whole like after credit scene. But I'm sure he's alive. They cannot. He was my favorite character in Thor.
Oh, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, definitely. He's the best.
He's great.
So yeah, so then they go there. So he turns Drax to Legos, and then like
and then it's literally straight out of the Infinity Gauntlet because Thanos is like torturing his brother in the comic Star Fox, and he just turns him into a bunch of like coils, and he does the same exact thing to Mantis.
You established earlier that Gamora is like, if Thanos gets me, like kill me because I know something, and immediately I was like, she knows where the Soul Stone is.
Yeah,
like I pretty much knew because I think in the beginning too, Thor was like nobody knows where the Soul Stone is, and then Gamora's like. Like I was like Gamora definitely knows where it is. That was the one part where I was like, especially with like jumping around a bit, the Nebula scene where she like recorded it. I was like, okay, this is all very convenient, but you need that because like. But I was like, it would have been really cool if that was like a scene in a previous Guardians movie. Yeah, that would have been really cool because then it's like, but it doesn't matter. You don't need to tie everything together. But like.
Yeah, like that could have been like a great after credit scene for
Guardians
of the Galaxy.
Yeah, exactly.
Too, where she's like, I have the
Soul
Stone. Yeah, basically.
That would have been cool if she's like, I know where the Soul Stone, or just like have like that scene from Infinity War and just place it in the Guardians too. So yeah, so she knows where the Soul Stone is, and then Thanos gets her. He uses the Reality Stone on Star-Lord, and then bubbles come out. Thanos really likes bubbles because that
he does it a couple times.
Happens a lot with the bubbles. It's a little bit too much.
And and that scene's so great too. Yeah. He actually says like, "Oh, I like you" to Chris Pratt.
You. And then
because he actually would have killed Gamora in that scene because he was egging on Star-Lord to kill Gamora. Like, oh, do it. He like puts her head up to the gun and everything.
And then the bubbles, and then he gets rid of Gamora.
Oh yeah, I like you because like you actually would have done that.
Yeah,
I like it when a villain respects the heroes a little bit.
I do too because if he didn't pull the trigger, like, do you think they're all dead? Would he just backhand? Okay, you clearly don't have what it takes. I don't need you here, and then bye. So then that really emotional scene, and then he takes Gamora, and then they go assumedly to go find the Soul Stone, which does happen, and then you get.
I love how it was none of the rumors, none of the nothing anybody came up with was right.
Nope.
For the Soul Stone.
That was really cool. I figured it would be kind of like because at first, when I was first watching it, I'm like. They're like going to the mountain, and then Thanos is like, "If it's not here, like."
I thought that Gamora was like sending him somewhere to like stall him.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought. Because I thought the Soul Stone was going to be in Titan.
Yeah.
But it turned out that it was on this random planet. I don't even remember what it was called.
It was called Vormir.
Vormir. Yeah.
But at first I was like, this better be awesome. Otherwise, I'm going to feel underwhelmed. And then Red Skull comes out. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, he comes this person in a cloak comes floating out, and I'm like, me as a comic book fan is just like, all right, what character is this?
At first, I was like, is it Hela? Yeah, I was like freaking out. Yeah, like, who is this going to be? And then Red Skull comes out, and I'm like,
you hear somebody imitating Hugo Weaving's voice as he lifts it up, and it's the Red Skull.
It's Ross Marquand from The Walking Dead. That's who's doing it. So Red Skull's coming back. Like he's going to be.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be part of the.
I love that because like ever since Captain America, like I've been like.
Where is this guy?
But I've been like, people have always been like, no, Red Skull died. I'm like, no,
if you watch it
again, he goes away.
Goes into like the portal.
And I love that, and it's really cool because he's just there because he's like, I once sought out the Infinity Stones, like, but like I ended up misusing it or something, and because I have nobody that I love, I'm sent here to like guide people to get the stone, and then you get that really emotional scene with Thanos just dropping Gamora, sacrificing her. For
that was so.
That was rough. Yeah, that was rough.
Because he's like. just like get over here, like I gotta
because
throw you
immediately
off. Yeah,
she starts like laughing at him, and I'm like, no, you're gonna die.
Yeah, because she's completely oblivious to the
Yeah.
fact that Thanos has a heart.
And then he starts like, and then Thanos starts crying, and then you're like, wait. Oh,
yeah,
crap.
and it's so good.
It's rough. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh god. So
like moments like that make me realize like there's probably like gonna be lots of like kids and families going to see this.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be some guy just
rough
hurling
movie to watch.
this character off a cliff, and like they even show the body and stuff. Like I was like, Jesus.
I'm just like, this is intense. Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight are supposed to retrieve visions, which we haven't even touched on yet. There's so much.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
the Vision,
we should go back to
Vision's
that,
head. Yeah, so then there's that big fight in Scotland, and then
where the Vision like doesn't have like a good scene in like the whole movie, like action wise, because
he gets depowered really hard in this movie.
Yeah,
I noticed that off the bat. Like he gets stabbed like initially.
Yeah, and that's what messes him up throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, I was like, you guys just completely.
Yeah, he's one of the most powerful characters that they have,
and he's been in the movies so far. And I'm just like, in this movie, I'm like, you're just kind of like. Oh, the directors even say he's a walking MacGuffin.
Yeah,
and he's just like.
Mm-hmm. But it does give Scarlet Witch some good stuff.
Yeah, it does.
It's because it's like her protecting him in the fight too,
the whole time. And then you get the really awesome reveal of Captain America.
Oh yeah, everybody in my theater was just cheering so hard. Like we all saw that exact shot in the trailers.
Yep.
Of him coming out of the shadows.
But
just like it did
leading to it.
Yeah, with the Avengers music blaring and stuff.
Amazing. And then Black Widow comes out, Falcon comes out, and it's just a big fight. And then I thought they killed Corvus in that scene.
Yeah, because they make you imply that.
Yeah,
too.
because then later on she's like, "You'll pay for his life with yours," but then he's like fighting with them. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, well, because the point was for them to lower their guard to think like, oh, he's dead, so we don't have to worry about that guy, and that's why when he shows up later, it's like it was a part of a big plan.
Right. That was really cool
to touch on the Black Order a little bit in the comics, like Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight like take out the Hulk. And then here it's like Black Widow comes in, and like I was like, okay, this is a little weird, but fine, whatever. The movie's not about them, so
no, it's not. And I didn't think it would be either. I was just kind of like, yeah, they're gonna be there. It's fine. I actually thought they would be worse, to be honest. I'm actually glad that they were good because I was like, from the trailer, I'm like, these guys are gonna be nobodies. They're just gonna be pointless, like little scenes throughout the movie to have a big death, and then But they were surprisingly good, especially Ebony Maw and Proxima Midnight for sure. And then we get they go to Wakanda. And then that awesome scene with Rhodey being like, yeah, let's not do the Accords anymore.
One thing that was kind of like a missed opportunity, which would have been a great moment, is if Mark Ruffalo got to meet Ross in that scene. But they didn't do that for some reason. That would have been pretty great.
It would have been great because it would have been like,
I feel like it should have been Banner shutting off the transmission.
That would have been funny. It's like, you don't want to listen to that. Yeah. That would have been pretty funny. There's a rumor going around that during that scene where Falcon's like, oh, this is awkward, that apparently if you look at Cap and Black Widow, there might be some kind of thing going on there. That apparently, because the joke is supposed to be, oh, this is awkward because Hulk and Black Widow haven't seen each other in like years. But apparently, I haven't noticed yet because I just heard about this rumor a couple nights ago. Apparently, there's like some kind of like lingering thing. Like Captain America has like this look on his face, and like Black Widow's like, "Oh shit!" Like we figured you were dead or something. Like I don't know though, because it would make sense because Falcon. It's just been Falcon, Black Widow, and Steve on the run. So it would make sense for them to have some kind of relationship, and for Falcon to be like, "Ooh." Like, yikes.
They didn't really focus on him
not at all.
This movie.
Which I was surprised by.
Probably, again, because they're going to hold it off towards the next one. They'll delve more into his character.
Exactly.
His last line is, like, the best thing. He's like, just, my God.
God, yeah.
like, that's the only reaction you could have to this whole situation.
Holy crap.
So then we go back into Titan? Is that where we go back?
Yeah, we get to Titan, and then the Guardians sort of invade the ship.
Iron Man and Doctor Strange and Spider-Man fight the Guardians.
Fight Drax, Mantis, and Star-Lord.
Which I wasn't expecting like a fight between like any superheroes. In this movie.
Yeah, it was just a
when it came out, I was like, oh, like this is weird. I didn't even think of that happening.
There's always some initial with every Avengers movie. There's some sort of like fight between them because of thinking we don't.
It was cool to see because I almost felt like the Guardians are like what the hell are they going to do against like some of these really powerful characters?
Yeah.
But then you see how well like everybody does against Iron Man and Spider-Man.
Mantis especially, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, because all she has to touch you to like do anything,
knock you out or do anything. Like I love that because like then they get her on top of Thanos and it's just like
Yeah.
well, you actually can do stuff. Like you're
that
important.
was the best way to utilize her. The whole big fight between all of them versus Thanos.
That's like my favorite scene, I think. Like it's
Definitely.
so good.
That's like the most like straight from the comics, like just all sorts of crazy crap happening. Like when I think it might be my favorite scene in the whole movie is just Doctor Strange fighting Thanos, and just
that was pretty cool.
All the cool visuals, and like there's a scene where like Thanos like makes like a black hole and throws it at Doctor Strange, and then he turns it into butterflies or something.
Yeah. That was great.
Wow, like that's the most straight out of the comics type of battle.
And then you get that like, I saw 14,605 outcomes and we win one of them.
Yeah.
And then there's like, do you think that Doctor Strange saw all of the events in this movie play out and he's just letting them happen? Like, because during the whole like,
yeah, man, you gotta hold on to the spoilers.
So you get the whole like let's get the gauntlet off of them, and then everybody's getting the gauntlet off. But if you notice, I don't remember was Doctor Strange a part of holding him down?
Yeah, I've only seen it once, and there's so much going on that I don't remember where he was when everybody was holding him down.
Because I think he definitely did some kind of whip thing on him, but I don't know. I think because Star-Lord had his little electric pulse thing holding him down, and then Drax grabbed him. Mm-hmm. And then Spider-Man had a web on him, and then Spider-Man and Iron Man are pulling the thing off, and then Mantis is on top of him. Yeah. And then Star-Lord's like in his face. I don't think Doctor Strange was doing anything. So I'm like, is Doctor Strange just like let's make sure this plays out the way I saw. So that's kind of cool.
So he might have been who let Star-Lord
go off
because Thanos in the face, and
then you get that scene where Star-Lord finds out.
I remember watching that, being like, this might be the most controversial scene in the whole movie because
it's Star-Lord's fault.
Everything from here on out is because of Star-Lord.
But it's like it's a human thing. Like it's like
and it's a Star-Lord thing because he's a big man child, and they make a point of that in the movie.
Exactly,
that's the big baby.
But it's like you couldn't have just waited 2 seconds to get the goddamn glove off of him. God, it's like why?
Yeah, and I was waiting for like the whole next movie's gonna be just like Iron Man just like hates him. And
for sure.
And then it's going to have to be about Star-Lord having to redeem himself after that. But then he dies, so then it's like, okay.
Yeah, right, exactly. So then there's the whole, he gets the gauntlet on him, and then he just wipes out. And then Doctor Strange actually gives him the Time Stone, which is what he was after the whole time. And so he's about to kill Iron Man. As soon as he stabbed him, I was like, Iron Man's done. Yeah. He's gone. They're killing him. And then Doctor Strange is like, no, here. And then he's like, Tony, it was the only way. Like, I'm like, okay, so this is all part of the plan. So after that, he gives him the Time Stone. He has 5 out of 6 now. And then the whole Battle of Wakanda takes place. That was pretty great.
It was cool, but it's definitely like something that like I honestly might have even been okay if they didn't have a big like with faceless CGI monsters.
It's no airport, but it's definitely fun.
Yeah, it's that's why I kind of wanted it to stick with just the Avengers versus the Black Order, like no big army.
Right, I thought they were doing that, but I didn't hate it. I was like, this is fine.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad we had like the other fight going on Titan at the same time.
And I don't think we're gonna get too much of the faceless CGI army in
the next one.
I don't think so. Maybe they'll do something weird, but I don't know. So then you get the big Wakanda fight. Obviously, we're talking about and. I like seeing all the characters in this one setting because we just got introduced to it like 2 months ago, and now here we are back, and it's this
Black
big battle.
Panther's like still in theaters.
Exactly, and I saw it like 2 days before seeing this, so I was like, "This is great! This is like a double feature. It's really cool." It couldn't have known how big Black Panther was going to be.
I don't know. Yeah,
but they're really like, they don't have a huge part in this movie. Wakanda has a huge part in this movie, but Black Panther Shuri, Okoye, Baku, they don't have big roles in this movie.
They're just there to fight some people.
They're there to fight, and but I like these little references that like you have to see the other movies, like just seeing like the purple burst, like you don't know what that is.
You don't know what's even going on.
But you're like
there.
For fans, it's like that. He still has that. That's really cool. Everybody's trying to protect Vision during this whole scene. And then, Vision gets compromised because Shuri, that whole thing with Corvus going into the room. And then, Vision is fighting now, and he's still weak.
Yeah, he's almost worthless.
Yeah, pretty
like
much.
Captain America is like better than him in a fight.
Captain America's like, please go
Speaking
away.
of which, it's that really great scene when Captain America and Black Panther are running ahead of everybody.
That was great.
That was awesome.
That was really awesome.
And one thing I love is that like Black Panther has this like super invincible bulletproof suit. It's like nothing any of those people could do that could actually harm him. So he's going in there like
just fight.
But then Captain America's sleeves rolled up. He doesn't care. He's just going in there.
It's great.
And like he could easily get like hit once and die. because he's not wearing like anything crazy, but
These are like
he's still
aliens.
going in there. Yeah,
Freaking insane.
Yeah.
So then Thanos comes in. Now here he is, and then he's just wiping everybody out. He's powered.
Oh, we forgot to mention Thor coming back.
Yes, thank you.
Also,
We'll go back to
they
Thor.
like power up Thor too,
Thor is
because he
insane.
holds this thing open so that this
the
star energy could go through it and melt the metal.
Yeah.
But he has to hold it open.
Yeah.
And he's getting
taking
hit.
a star blast.
That means like his own body is like more dense and stronger than the actual metal itself that he's trying to melt.
Right.
So that was pretty crazy.
That was amazing. And then you get Groot, obviously we mentioned, forming together the axe, doing one thing in this movie.
Well, he does that. He does kill a bunch of monsters.
Yeah, later after that, yeah. So then they go to Wakanda, which there is an argument to be made. I mentioned this to you about that, like that plot hole kind of deal, where it's like, how does he even know to go to Wakanda, and how does he even know Wakanda's a place? But I mean, we can get over it because it's such an awesome moment.
Yeah.
And then he just beats the crap out of everybody, and he's just like, they're screwed, and like he just comes in and just gets everybody. So I didn't think we would get any sort of meetup between any of these three storylines, and I'm glad that like Thor showed up. I actually was, part of me was obviously hoping like I want to see everybody come together.
Yeah, but I knew like it's probably only
that.
going to happen in the next one is when everybody comes
when everybody
together.
gets back together and Iron Man and Captain America have a little reunion. So then Thanos shows up with all 5 stones, and then Thor. I didn't actually think. I thought this was going to be kind of a big fail. Like I was like, okay, like he's going to make a new weapon, but like what's it really going to do? Like he's saying, he's saying like, oh, it's the Thanos killing kind. I'm like, I didn't really believe him, but then he like gets that thing through his chest, and I'm like, holy shit. And he actually got him, and he's like, I told you you'd die for that. I'm like, oh, Thor's got like a nice arc in this movie. I wasn't expecting Thor to have such a
role. I really, like for a moment, I actually thought like, oh, like they might actually like stop Thanos.
Yeah, I like that.
Now. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. And then he's like, you should have aimed for the head. And like, but
to go back.
Even before that, though, like there's that scene where like all the Avengers just are running up to him, and he's just effortlessly
wiping him out, and then Scarlet Witch is having that really emotional moment where Vision wants her to basically kill him.
Yeah,
and
blow up the
Mind Stone, get it out, and then they do that, and then
the really epic scene where like she's giving it all she has to Thanos, like the most powerful blast that she's ever like.
He's just walking forward. And then she kills Vision, and then Thanos is like, oh, it's like so, he's doing his little menacing speech, and then he just reverses time, brings Vision.
I knew exactly what they were gonna do too. I was like, he has the time stone now,
he's
so like this is all
bring
messed
it all
up.
back, and then he just rips it right out of his
so even
skull.
Even if they had blown it up like earlier that day, like he still would have gotten the time stone, and he would have been like, "Oh, you guys destroyed it? Okay." And
cool, whatever. Take me to the blast site. I'll just go.
Yeah.
But now it sucks now because Scarlet Witch has to live with that. Like,
well, she doesn't live with that. She dies.
Right. Well, exactly. Okay.
Because obviously, if you have a character who could destroy Infinity Stones, then you should probably get rid of them.
Get rid of them. And so then Thanos has all 6 stones, and then we go back to the moment where Thor, gets it in his chest.
Which is incredible. Like
such a good part. And then you should have aimed for the head. He snaps, and then there's that whole moment with him and Gamora, and what did it cost? It cost everything.
Yeah,
and then
that was so cool. When
it
was
did great.
That.
And
like,
then
they could have just had it snap, everything's done. No, but they had to show that part with Thanos talking to like the little Gamora. Like like it hits you.
Yeah, it's like wow.
And then he says like, oh, what did you have to give up?
It's like he really feels like he has to do this.
Yeah,
he's like he really
gave up everything for this. Like,
it's messed up.
Yeah.
And then you get the snap, and then everything goes dark. He teleports away. He's got that burnt ass gauntlet.
Yeah, like he overworked it. I guess.
So that's pretty cool though. I was like, he's not gonna be able to use that thing for much longer. Like it's just burnt so badly.
We'll see what they.
We'll see what they do.
We'll see if that turns out to be important or not.
Yeah. Then it's all just destroyed. But I thought that was great. And so then it's all dark, and then Thor's like, "What did you do?" And then he goes away, and then you start seeing the bodies fall and the dust going. And first person you get out, Bucky, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And
I was like, that felt weird because I was like, the Russo brothers have created this arc for Bucky and like how important he is throughout like Winter Soldier, Civil War, and then now he's dead. Like he hardly even was in this movie.
Yeah.
He has one cool scene with Rocket.
Yes,
where he like lifts him up and shooting people.
I like that.
And then he dies.
Turn into dust. Everybody's turning to everybody. I could not believe the bodies. I was just like,
I knew at least a couple people were gonna die.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch, Falcon.
Falcon, nobody sees him go.
Yeah,
he dies alone.
Like, where you at?
He dies all alone.
He's like, I'm like, oh my god. And then you get who else died? And then you get like I said Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
I actually have a list on my phone of who died.
Yeah,
I think it's
Black
Panther.
Black Panther.
Black Panther was the second
out
one.
of me. I was like, wait, they're really killing him off?
Yep. And then you get Black Panther gone, and then that was rough. I was like,
but
then
now
right
you know
there, I was like,
Okoye
this
is going to be like big in the next one.
As soon as they killed Black Panther, though, I was like, okay, they're all going to come back. Like, there's no way they killed Black Panther, especially after that movie. And then you go to Titan after that.
Yeah,
and then you start drop everybody.
Almost
in that
the
team
only
drops.
two people are Iron Man and Nebula.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. Like I'm like,
those are very that's
very random. You get like Mantis goes, Drax, Star-Lord, and then you get Spider-Man, which is the most emotional moment in the entire movie. And Doctor Strange, right?
Strange. Yeah, but yeah, the Spider-Man. Like you know he's coming back to life.
Oh my God!
But it doesn't matter because that scene was just so emotional.
Like that was bad. I was like, holy shit! Like I almost started crying.
Tom Holland
doesn't want to go.
He didn't want to go.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel too well. It's messed up. I'm like,
because he's just a little boy,
you know,
and he's been
trying to prove himself, and now here he is fighting Thanos with him, and he's just like, I failed.
And now the stakes is if they fail, that this is the way it's just going to be.
Half the universe gone. Everything.
Yeah, like if they fail in the next movie, this is just what it's going to be, and that's the stakes for the next film.
You notice the original Avengers are still alive. You notice you got Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, Captain America, Iron Man.
War Machine.
War Machine's alive too. Alive. Rocket.
That's gonna be Rocket's gonna be on Earth.
Rocket's just there, like, oh, my friends are dead. And we don't know where Hawkeye and Ant-Man are, which I forgot to mention them. They're not in this movie at all.
Yeah. Well, they're apparently with their families.
Yes, which was the line.
Which actually works for both their characters.
Yeah, for sure. And so they're probably going to play a huge role in the next one too. I imagine like anybody that's small in like that's small now in the universe.
Get it? Small.
Like Hawkeye is going to play a big role in the next one, and so will Ant-Man. And then that after credits scene, we might as well start going to that.
Yeah,
the movie ends with Thanos like looking at the sunrise, which he said he wanted to do.
Yeah, just straight out of the comics. When
bittersweet ending I've ever seen. Like, just messed up, like, but it's like he did it. Like he fulfilled what he wanted to do. Villain wins. Empire Strikes Back. Insanity. It is dark, rough, and you're gonna cry. And then the after credit scene, you get Maria Hill and Nick Fury in the car. And the whole wipeout starts happening before their very eyes.
Yeah, because we saw it from the perspective of the superheroes, but we didn't see it from the perspective of like civilians.
Like, and it's like, holy crap! Like, and then the helicopters are crashing, all this stuff, and then Nick Fury starts to page somebody, and then we see it like sending, and then he just flies away. He's dust now, and then he starts paging Captain Marvel. The logo shows up, and then that's it. That's the end. And you just imagine that apparently Captain Marvel's like the most strong character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, that's what they're building up for.
Yep. And so that movie's going to be interesting now. And I'm excited to see that for sure because, you imagine the end credits scene is going to be like her getting the message and springing the action. And I can't wait for that 1-2 punch next year because that comes out closer to Avengers than Black Panther does.
Yeah.
So I imagine that's going to still be a huge movie when Avengers 4 opens.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be like, oh, I get away from Captain Marvel. It's just going to be the same.
Hopefully it's a good movie. And watch it be terrible. It's like all this build up for Captain Marvel's character.
I hope not. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, especially now. I'm happy that the movie ended on some happiness where it's like, okay, we still have another player coming to the fight and she's going to mean business for sure. So that's Avengers Infinity War. We probably tackled like an over half an hour.
Roller coaster.
Yeah. We probably we talked about everything. What did you guys think of the movie? Comment down below. Let me know. Let us know. And thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you guys next time. Oh, and check out his channel. I'll link it in the description. We should have a video up there about our theories and predictions for Avengers 4. Stay tuned. Goodbye.